Hello and welcome to the latest of my Inside Tracks. Today I'm going to explore a truly critical event, a clash between Venus, the planet of relating, desire and presentation, and also the planet which governs everyday money and also our self-worth and values, and Chiron, the wounded healer. Chiron is a truly vital indicator in a natal chart. It tells us where someone is likely to be very supportive of others and the exact point where they're very likely to get the least back in terms of nourishment and nurture from others. So because of the energy of these two planets and their current locations, Venus in Cancer and Chiron in Aries, this sets up a platform which can ask some serious questions about our attitude to money, but also our attitude to relationships, but also, highly importantly, our attitude towards ourself. So, I just want to tease these themes out into the open. If you're a returning visitor, thank you so much for joining me once more. If you're new here, I'd be honoured if you would subscribe. Please click or tap on the bell notification symbol. Now, serious astrology can bring us such a fantastic amount of greater personal understanding and help us really go beyond the archetypes of the 12 zodiac signs. If you don't know your personal astrology, if you do give me 3 pieces of your personal birth data, of time, date and place of birth, I can produce for you your life roadmap report, which can help you to get a really intimate understanding of the patterns that have played out in your journey so far. And in my special package of 30% off, your 12-month personal forecast, totally unique to you, which can give you searing insights for the months ahead. Now, if you don't know your time, I have a solar package which works the same way but is based on the sun. Please see below for more. So let's just look at the location of Venus and Chiron. So on the screen now, I'm showing you the event chart. And you can see that Venus is in the 6th house, which is very practical. This is very much about being of service to others. And at 18 degrees 31. Now, in terms of Placidus, this puts Chiron in the 2nd house. But this is really interesting because, of course, Venus governs the sign of Taurus, which is very redolent of the energy of the 2nd house. So it's about that self-worth, but it's also about that everyday money. So Chiron in Aries is very much to do with our personal identity. People who have Chiron in Aries need to work hard at that, but of course it does depend at what house it's located in. So this relationship here suggests that however much we try to be industrious or try to create that homely environment or that nurturing relationship, Venus in Cancer in the 6th house, money or self-worth with Chiron in the 2nd house are going to be particularly important themes which emerge on this particular event. But I also want you to look at the ascendant. That is at 26 degrees and 25 in Capricorn, very businesslike and very much to do with maintaining the status quo. But look at the position of Mars and the Moon. They're in Leo and they're conjunct, but right on the 7th house cusp. If you've got a relationship or a financial relationship that's not working very well at this present time, this event is likely to be something of a moment of crisis. But that doesn't mean to say there aren't opportunities, because if you look at the midpoint between the Sun and the Moon, which is the balance of this event, it's actually at 4 degrees in Cancer, but in the 5th house of romance. And it's actually forging a terrific link with Saturn in the 1st house. So rather somber 1st house can diminiate personal energy and charisma, but very solid. So if you're in a relationship which is working pretty well, that's very supportive. Also, Uranus is in a fine link with Venus as well. So it just suggests if a relationship or a business situation or a financial situation is fairly solid, it can withstand this event, but it may require some kind of updating or new thinking in order to keep moving forwards. But what about if things are less positive? Well, your love life and relationships in general could be a little bit of a source of pain, perhaps even stress. And this is because old wounds, Chiron, can be triggered. And anything that's unresolved may have a habit of working its way into a current situation. And it's possible that you may feel that someone around you is undermining the stability or progress or desires that you may have. So it's important to try to gain some clarity on where things stand. But one of the most important things is our self-judgment. And that's where Chiron is so powerful. If you're pretty new to Chiron themes, please see beneath this video and you can watch my deep dive video on Chiron, because its icon, its glyph is a key, and it can provide fantastic clues into what's not been working quite so well in our situations, but also where we may have been incredibly skilled at helping someone else. So for example, if someone's got Chiron in the 7th house, say in Libra, they would be a brilliant marriage guidance counsellor or relationship counsellor. If it's someone who has Chiron in the 2nd house, in Taurus, they'd be amazing as a financial advisor, and so on. But those positions don't guarantee that we will feel good about a situation with ourselves. So Venus in Cancer is very much about nurture, the home, hopes for security, a peaceful environment, perhaps things to develop in terms of family situations. But this could see us being doubted by people around us about the relationships we have or the financial structures that we have. And we could be involved in a situation that however much we try to get a relationship to work, it won't work. And therefore, if you are in a toxic relationship with a friendship or a romantic partner, a business association, or even in a financial arrangement, I feel this event is going to push us all to look at that type of thing. So I think it's crucial really that Mars and the Moon are together on the 7th house, because when Mars is on the 7th house, it can create a lot of turbulence. Now I'm just briefly showing on the screen now the solar event. So this is taking the overall zodiac from the first point of the vertex in Aries, 0 degrees, and of course that therefore puts Chiron in house 1, and it puts Venus in house 4. So that takes us back more to the basic archetypes of Chiron in Aries, very much about our identity, and Venus in Cancer, very much about our need for security. So if we're clinging to a situation at the moment, trying to make something that's not working or is very wounding or draining, in some way cling to that, because our self-esteem is so fragile, this would be a good time to really think again. If, however, we're in a relationship which is going pretty well, we know from the position of the midpoint and Saturn that that solidity can be very helpful, but the combination between the Moon and Mars on the 7th house cusp can create some turbulence. So the energy of Uranus, which is feeding into Venus, asks us to be very open-minded, to flex and find new ways of doing things in order to keep prospering. It's been a real pleasure being with you. Thank you so much for joining me. Please do comment. I do interact with all comments. This is very much a community. Subscribe or like.